the snow turns it very wintry, as the rest of downtown.
Yeah, that snow has been falling throughout the night. This is what it looked like outside our station off of Fredericksburg Road.
Now, along with the snow, we also had a little bit of ice covered in our parking lot. Good reminder, if you do not have to head out this morning, don't do it. If you do, just make sure you're careful, slow down, give yourself plenty of time.
Well, good morning on this very cold Tuesday, January 21st. I'm Audrey Castoreno.
And I'm Barry Davis. Today, obviously a weather impact alert day here at KENS 5. We do have a little bit of snow out there and some freezing conditions. Starting to melt, though. That's a nice thing.
Yes, and with this winter weather, our team is live this morning to track the latest conditions and changes. Right now, let's get on over to meteorologist Paul Morales with the first look at your forecast. Paul, you were saying the snow's kind of moved out. What can we expect into the next few hours?
Yeah, snow has moved out. You can expect cold, and be careful out there on those roads. We're starting to see the accidents pile up. Now, one thing you got to notice when you go out to your car is the snow overnight was powdery, very powdery, so it's easy to get it off your windshields, but there was just a little bit of some ice out there as well. Plus, let's take a look. Okay, so we've got a winter storm warning that is in effect until 6 o'clock tonight. This is what I'm expecting. Some snowy roadways on especially the secondary roads. Be careful out there. Hard freeze tomorrow. That's why I think today and tomorrow we'll have a KENS 5 weather impact alert day. And don't forget the 4 Ps, of course. All right, so here's what I'm expecting. Clouds this morning, but sometime around mid-morning, the sun is going to come out. By late morning, I think any snow that's on the roadways here in the city is going to be all water by then. And then by 4 o'clock, I think due to sublimation and evaporation, most of the water should be gone. And we'll have lots of sunshine, high temperatures right around 40 degrees. The snow is playing out as we speak, for the most part moving off to the east. Still could see an additional accumulation across our eastern counties of another ½ inch. This is roughly the accumulations last night from west to east, about 2/10 to a trace, where you see this gray zone, where you see the light blues here, up to maybe 3/4, and way over to the east, about 1 inch or 2 of snowfall. All right, so we still have the winter weather advisory for western counties to the south and also to the east. We've got a winter storm warning that continues now, including Cotulla. How much additional snow? I think we're pretty much done here. Cotulla and Carrizo Springs, you could see some additional, maybe 1/4 inch, and over towards Victoria, perhaps an additional 1/4 inch. Hallettsville, an additional 1/4 inch. It's cold. Temperature right now, 28 degrees. Hondo's at 28, Kerrville 26, Hallettsville 29. When you add the wind chill is at 18. Bernie feels like 15 degrees, 17 at New Braunfels. Okay, so clouds this morning, still some snow for an hour or two for our eastern counties, but snow is pretty much played out here. Sun comes out, and your high temperature today, I think we'll hit 40 degrees. I know, Jessica, you have been busy. What is going on out there this morning?
Paul, we got several major accidents, one of the biggest on the northeast side this morning, where you can see a lot of activity. This is I-35 northbound, where you can see all this gridlock building, not just on our main lanes of the highway, but also along the frontage road. So right now the highway is shut down. If you're trying to head northbound, you're going to be pushed onto the frontage road between Topperwine and Loop 1604. And as you can see, absolute gridlock for drivers trying to head this direction. About a 30-minute delay due to an accident here. It's not our only problem on the roadways. Let's head onto the map and I'll show you several around town. 1604 east at Bitters, over on the northwest side of town, we've got an accident blocking main lanes there. Again, I-35 north at Pat Booker on the northeast side, shutting down the highway. 410 east at Broadway, at least 2 main lanes closed for eastbound drivers. I-10 west at Woodlawn Avenue on that lower level, you're down to 1 main lane getting through there. And then on the east side, I-10 eastbound at Ackerman, we've got another accident. On the west side of town, if you're trying to head west on 90 at 1604, you're going to see some slow-moving traffic from an accident there, as well as an accident that's been on the roadway for more than 2 hours now. 1604, that frontage road southbound at Wiseman Boulevard, impacting again off the highway, that frontage road. So really right now, if you're headed out, you're going to see some ice, some snow on areas around town. And as you heard from Paul, watch out on those secondary roadways. That's where they haven't had the brining treatment that TxDOT's been putting on a road since Sunday. As you can see, still right now, the northeast side, one of the worst spots of town in terms of accidents. Just be extra careful. Increase that following distance 3 times what you normally would. Take it nice and slow as you head out this Tuesday morning.
Absolutely, or maybe stay home if you can. Want to take a live look outside right now from our tower camera. It's showing conditions here in the medical area. You can see some of that snow still there on the ground.
Yeah, we've had crews out live all morning long covering the weather for us, including the roads where the snow has finally stopped falling here, but further to the east, we're still seeing a little bit.
Yeah, it's a different story. But right now I want to get to KENS 5's Sarah Duran. She's out with a look at conditions on the northwest side. And Sarah, how are roadways there where you're at?
Audrey, traffic is looking pretty good. We're over here at I-10 and 1604. It doesn't look like a typical 7 o'clock rush hour. There's a lot less traffic on the roads this morning, a lot less cars due to the conditions. As we have been reporting all morning long, most of the school districts are closed today, so that probably helps with the number of cars on the road right now. I did want to show you my thermometer. There has been a little bit of an increase in temperatures. It was 23 and now it is 24 degrees, so it's getting warmer. Can't really say too much about that. I'm very, very cold this morning. I also wanted to show you the ice we have on the road. Or on the ground. I don't even know if this is really snow. It has more of that like crunchy texture, more like a sleet texture. So you can see it's very, very thin. It's breaking up and it's very crunchy. I wish I could do a snow angel for you, but I simply cannot. I'm trying to see if I can even draw a circle because I was going to draw you a portrait of Paul. But as you can see, I'm just breaking through that ice there, and you can see that dirt is exposed from underneath. So not a whole lot of snow that we are dealing with this morning, which is good news. And like Paul said, we should have a lot of this gone heading into the afternoon hours. Now, we did get some video in overnight that I did want to show you and talk to you about. We got some great videos from our viewers of where they were at when they saw the snow first falling down. The snow on the ground here in this video is from the medical center area. We also have other videos showing what appears to be a combination of sleet and rain, just like what I was showing you here a few seconds ago. It's that slushy, crunchy texture on the ground instead of a smooth powder. So of course, if you have any videos that you took overnight, taken this morning with your children, please send it to us here on KENS 5. We would love to see it. We would love to see what's happening in your neck of the woods. But again, here along 1604 I-10 northwest side near the rim, not much here on the ground, but there's still a little bit on the roadway. So if you're heading out, please take it safe. Please take it slow and drive safe, of course. Earl, what's going on in your neck of the woods, my friend?
Good morning, Sarah. It is cold here. It is cold where you're at. It is cold for anyone watching our live stream right now. I am at the Alamo Stadium on the north side near Highway 281, and just want to give you a look at the highway. It's pretty empty right now. There are a few drivers on the road, and they are taking it pretty slow around this curve. So definitely, if you have to get behind the wheel, want you to stay safe. And this is a little bit of the snow that we have right here on the ground. Oh, it's a little crunchy right now. But yeah, you know, this snow, it's not going to be here for long. So if you do want to play with a little bit what's left on the ground, we didn't get too much here in San Antonio. Come out now before the sun comes out completely and melts it all away. But I just wanted to give a few safety reminders for anyone who does have to get on the road and drive. If you are behind the wheel, please take it slow. You do not have to accelerate. And please do not lose control of your car. And please make sure, give some space between you and other drivers on the road. You do not want to hit the brakes. That'll make you lose control, and then that'll also make you possibly slide into the back of another driver. And always, please be sure to stay calm. If you have to skid, please steer in the direction where you want to go. Gain control of your car. But we do not want any accidents. On my way here to Alamo Stadium, I did not see any crashes, thankfully, but I know there are some around the area. But we will be here throughout the morning, and if you have any videos, please be sure to send it to us. Back to the studio.
Thanks so much, Earl. And right now, travelers are dealing with the cold weather in the form of delayed or canceled flights. Take a look. This is Houston's Hobby Airport on Monday as crews work to de-ice runways. City of Houston announced both Hobby and Bush Intercontinental would be closed today. And here at home, a number of flights have been canceled at San Antonio International. So if you're leaving or coming into the city, you are advised to check the status of your flight at flysanantonio.com. And the weather conditions are also impacting county operations. Bexar County tells us it's closing all non-essential operations and facilities today. If you have jury duty, the county says you will be notified of the cancellation and further instructions. Anyone with questions can call the Bexar County Weather Line at 210-335-2258.
And if you went to the store and figured out, well, I forgot something, you're going to have to wait another about 2.5 hours because the H-E-B is going to open up later than normal today. Monday, some locations closed early, too. They shut down at 8 o'clock last night, but all local stores are expected to open around 10 o'clock this morning.
And as we continue to track conditions, stay with us on KENS 5 for the latest weather updates and keep ahead of the storm by downloading the KENS 5 app.
And like Earl was telling us, if you have any pictures or videos, you know you went out there and took some of the kids out in the ice and the snow this morning. We want you to share them with us. All you have to do, text them to the number on your screen, 210-366-0020, or you can share them with us on the KENS 5 app.
7:21 right now. I want to toss it over to Paul for a look at weather.
All right, it's 28 degrees out there this morning. It is cold. You add the wind and it feels more like the teens, so bundle up. We do have some snow on the ground, especially those secondary roads. You need to watch out. Jessica's going to give us more on that. Today, sun's going to come out. It's going to be around 40 for a high. Tonight, another hard freeze. We'll be down to 20 for a low. Next couple of days, sunshine. I'll talk more about that. Jessica, what's going on?
And speaking of those secondary roads, Paul, we do have roads closed. North Walter Street is shut down to the I-35 North Access Road, as well as Rice Road to Brusque. So keep that in mind. We also have ice reported on I-37 at mile marker 122, 37 southbound between Mathis and Hardy Roads, I-35 at Shepherd Road, and then Loop 1604 FM 327 at Elmendorf. Those aren't our only issues. We've got several accidents out there. Heading over to the northeast side to show you a really bad accident shutting down the highway for 35 northbound. That stretch between Topperwine and Loop 1604 closed right now. And as you can see on our TransGuide camera, absolute gridlock coming up. I'm going to tell you some other spots you're going to want to watch out as you head out this morning.
The heart of KENS 5 News is our people. People who've earned the trust of our community through years of experience, community connection, and showing up when it matters most. The reporters and anchors at KENS 5 News are the most experienced team in town, consistently delivering the important news you need. They're the people you're familiar with, the people you trust. KENS 5 News, proud to be San Antonio's own.
Go ahead, take a look at the faces of San Antonio's own. When you look into their eyes, you see passion, you see hard work, you see familia. Generations of people who embody a rich culture of respect, honor, and originality. We're all in San Antonio, but more importantly, San Antonio is in us. It's what makes us special. It's why we're proud to be San Antonio's own.
I think we're very cute.
Yeah, I think we need to send out a Christmas card like this.
Yeah, let's do that.
Dollar Jill.
If you can't get into the market, it's okay. Renting is fine.
I wonder how Serena is feeling.
That's a really good question. No one's asked me that yet.
You're 70 years old? 70, yeah. I'm 21.
We'll see you 7 o'clock sharp.
Talked to this police officer, and she told me to call KENS 5.
Every week, KENS 5 is looking out for San Antonio's own.
The next day after you left, they sent a professional AC guy, and my AC is working now.
If you've been wronged by someone,
It was shocking. Clearly something went wrong.
or a business,
I couldn't believe it was happening.
just call KENS. Weekdays at 6, only on KENS 5.
I got my vehicle back. I'm rolling again, so call KENS 5 to help you if you need help too.
Yeah, I was born and raised here in San Antonio, Texas, born at Lackland Air Force Base. I grew up on the west side, and I'm a military brat, so I kind of followed my dad around the world. I embrace multiple cultures. Living here in San Antonio, it's the Hispanic culture. Growing up, it was the Filipino culture. I'm constantly seeking new adventures and love hopping on my bike to find one. Learned from some of the best, Paul Morales and Bill Taylor growing up. Those forecasts kind of inspired me to become a meteorologist. I mean, everything here is home.
Want to get to some national headlines now. After nearly 2 years of negotiation, 2 Americans are heading home after a prisoner swap with the Taliban.
Ryan Corbett and William McKenty were handed over in Afghanistan Tuesday in exchange for a Taliban member serving a life sentence in California for narco-terrorism charges. The deal was reached and carried out over both President Biden's and Trump's administrations.
More than 18,000 Costco workers could walk off the job next month. The Teamsters Union says 85% of its members voted in favor of a strike if there's no agreement on a new contract by January 31st. Workers are demanding better wages and benefits. So far, the company hasn't commented.
Ohio State, the last team standing after its win over Notre Dame in the College Football National Championship. They beat the Fighting Irish with a score of 34-23. The Buckeyes won their first championship since 2014 and their 7th in school history. And across the state, Houston is expected to get twice as much snow as we are.
Yeah, it started falling last night and isn't expected to stop until this afternoon.
Stephen Goen is in the Woodlands with the icy conditions he's seeing, and Jaleesa Garza is in Cypress where the snow is picking up.
Here in the Woodlands, the snow has been falling consistently all morning long, and the wind is definitely blowing it in our direction. Now, I want you to get a good idea of how much snow is piling up. We've been showing you these massive snowballs that we've been able to make out here, but I also want you to take a look at this. Right here, close to the ground, we've taken a credit card and a gift card, put it right there in the snow to show you just how much accumulation there is. The average one of these cards is just over 2 inches on the short side. You can see the snow is right up there, about an inch, inch and a half. So unofficially, that is what we're looking at. Of course, we'll have to confirm it throughout the morning as the snow continues to fall. Of course, that snow.
Good morning. At 7:27, we're dealing with dangerous driving conditions on the snowy Tuesday. We have at least 7 accidents reported out there on our roads right now, and several of them are rollover accidents. So you can see problems all around town. I do want to show you over on the northeast side of town. This is probably one of the worst. I-35 northbound is shut down between Pat Booker and Loop 1604 due to a big accident. Let's head out to our TransGuide camera. I want to show you what it looks like right now. So drivers, as you can see, absolutely stopped. They're being pushed off the highway, diverted onto the frontage road to get around this. If you're headed this direction anytime soon, your delay is about 30 minutes. And again, northbound main lanes closed between Topperwine to 1604. Let's head over to another accident I want to show you. This one's over on 410 westbound. You can see from our new Braunfels camera, blocking several main lanes. Dangerous driving conditions, friends. Increase that following distance. And Paul, as we've talked about this morning, it really doesn't matter what you're driving. It takes very little to slide, so you got to make sure you're going slow.
Oh, yeah, you got to go slow. Take it easy out there. Thank you, Jessica. All right, here's what's going on. Snow has moved out of the way. We'll have clouds for the next couple of hours, and then mid-morning to late morning, we'll see some sunshine. Temperatures will rise above freezing. I think any kind of winter precip that's on the roadways, snow, I think will melt. We'll see pretty much all liquid by noon. And then this afternoon, most of it, I think, will be gone. Whatever's left over, though, there's going to be a hard freeze, so watch out. Tomorrow morning's low, about 22. All right, the snow is coming to an end, moving off to the eastern counties. You can still see an additional 1/4 of an inch accumulation. So far, we've picked up about 1 to 2 inches for our eastern counties, about 2/10 to 7/10 of an inch, and some of our southern counties about 1/4 to 1/2 an inch of snowfall. So we didn't see a lot, but we still have this winter storm warning that is in effect. Winter weather advisory out to the west. Again for today, sun comes out and your high temperature around 40.
What makes KENS 5 News different? We have a team of people, both on air and behind the scenes, who are from San Antonio, who have lived here for decades. A team of journalists who know the neighborhoods, the issues, and the people, bringing San Antonio the news that's most important to this community. Local news from local people. We are San Antonio's own KENS 5.
think we're very cute.
Yeah, I think we need to send out a Christmas card like this.
Yeah, let's do that.
Dollar Jill.
If you can't get into the market, it's okay. Renting is fine.
I wonder how Serena is feeling.
That's a really good question. No one's asked me that yet.
You're 70 years old, Zach? Yeah. I'm 21.
We'll see you 7 o'clock sharp.
My name is Sue Kalberg, and I am a journalist for KENS 5 for 22 years. I think it's been an awesome privilege to be able to work in the town that I grew up in. My uncle, Rex Stanley, was the very first guy hired at KENS 5. From the beginning, I said, you can get paid for that? Let me in. It fills my heart to be a part of the KENS family, because the KENS family is the San Antonio family. I am San Antonio's own Sue Kalberg.
Talked to this police officers, and she told me to call KENS 5.
Every week, KENS 5 is looking out for San Antonio's own.
The next day after you left, they sent a professional AC guy, and my AC's working now.
If you've been wronged by someone,
It was shocking. Clearly something went wrong.
or a business,
I couldn't believe it was happening.
just call KENS. Weekdays at 6, only on KENS 5.
I got my vehicle back. I'm rolling again. So call Ken 5 to help you if you need help too.
Born and raised on the northwest side of San Antonio, Texas. Generations of my family have been from this part of Texas. I have Fiesta roots. I have Spurs roots. I have Texas Fighter roots. Played basketball at Clark. Basketball was a huge part of my life for 16 years. My comfort dish, a plate of chilaquiles with salsa verde. I grew up watching KENS 5. I am who I am because of this beautiful city. I hope that they can find a sense of pride knowing that their creation is helping deliver them the most important news of the day. I'm Alicia Nieves, and I'm proud to be from this beautiful city.
All right, and welcome back. It is definitely cold out there. We've got a winter storm warning that continues. We've got a lot of snow on some of these roadways, especially secondary roadways. So today and tomorrow are going to be KENS 5 weather impact alert days. All right, for today, we've got snow on the roadways. Not a whole lot. Most locations here in Bexar County, there's not much, but especially secondary roadways, watch out, can be really slippery. Jessica's watching many accidents right now. She'll give you the details here in just a second. And tomorrow we're going to have a hard freeze. So again, remember the 4 Ps. All right. Right now it's 28. You can see the snow on the ground here. Looks like everybody's getting along pretty well on Fredericksburg. Some of the major roads, not too bad. It's the secondary roads that are a real issue. And also, once folks get a little bit of traction on the roadways and stuff and start smushing up the snow, then we get a problem with a little bit of some ice. So be careful. All right, record low 16, set back in 1985. Temperatures today will top out around 40. The way I think it's going to play out today is once we get to mid to late morning, the sun comes out, temperatures warm up above freezing. All of this snow should melt and it'll be liquid. And then as we progress through the day, due to the sublimation process and evaporation, most of that should go away. And I think by 4 or 5 o'clock, most of the liquid should be gone, most of it. 40 degrees for a high today under sunshine. All right, snow is coming to an end. We still have just a little bit in some places, mainly over to our east. So you can still see an additional accumulation, probably about 1/4 of an inch for some of our eastern counties. So watch out for that. The heaviest snowfall, of course, was eastern counties here. Did pick up anywhere from 1/4 of an inch to 3/4 here along the I-35 corridor, right into northern portions of Bexar County. Eastern part of the county, closer to 1/2 inch to 3/4 around Wilson County, about 1/2 inch to 1 inch, and then 1 to 2 to the east. And then right in the fringes here where you see that white shade, just a trace to maybe 1/4 of an inch of snow. And then further out to the west, just didn't see very much. So we do still have the winter storm warning that is in effect, winter weather advisory for counties out towards the west where there just wasn't a whole lot. Temperature 28, New Braunfels 28, Hallettsville 29, Uvalde's coming in at 30. You add the wind, we've got a wind chill. It feels pretty chilly. Wind chills in the teens out there. What a snowfall for southern Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, Carolinas, Dixie snow. Up north, if you're traveling to the Great Lakes, it is really cold, and many parts of the country cold this morning. Upper level trough moving out of the way. I think we'll see sun today, tomorrow, probably even into Thursday. Have a frontal boundary, actually a big trough with a front on Thursday. That's going to just kind of reinforce cool weather for the rest of the week. And then as we head towards the weekend, we'll have a chance for a few showers Sunday and Monday, but I think most of that's going to be East Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas, and Mississippi. All right, so for today, the sun comes out. Temperatures above freezing by late to mid-morning, high today right around 40. Now, here's the deal. I do think most of this liquid, since it wasn't a whole lot, most of this liquid is going to be gone by this afternoon, by late this afternoon. But whatever is left will freeze up because we're going to have a hard freeze tomorrow morning, down to about 22, some teens around the area. Tomorrow morning is going to be awful cold. Mold's light, Cedar is moderate. Here's your 14-day forecast. Tomorrow, 48. Thursday, 54. Behind that frontal boundary, kind of cool for the rest of the week. Temperatures in the 60s over the weekend. And next week, I think it's going to be on the cool side with a chance for some shower activity. Okay, Jessica, you are the woman of the hour. What is going on?
I don't know
roadways?
about that, Paul, but certainly make sure you're doing your part to keep our roads safe this morning. We have several major accidents out there right now. This is the northeast side, I-35 northbound, completely stopped. You can see this from our top rewind camera. We've got a major accident closing down all main lanes of northbound traffic. Southbound drivers are making their way through, going extra slow as you should this morning. But if you're trying to head north on 35 right now, you're not going to be able to do that between Top Rewind and Loop 1604. Let's head onto the map and I'll show you the area impacted. As you can see from our TransGuide camera, icy, snowy conditions out there on our roadways this morning. So that's the stretch that is closed down right now. If you're trying to get into this, you're looking at about a 30-minute delay, possibly longer, depending on how long you're there. And it's not our only problem. We're monitoring 7 accidents so far this morning. These are the ones that are active right now. I-35 north at Weidner, we've got a couple lanes blocked here. 410 east at Broadway, 2 right lanes blocked. If you're headed that direction, you're looking at some traffic mainly sticking to the outer lanes. 1604 east at Bitters, we do have a rollover accident reported blocking just the right lane. And then 1604 east at Petrenko, another accident there blocking at least 1 main lane of traffic. I-10 west still clearing at Woodlawn Avenue. Should be mostly clear by now, but be careful. Patches of ice were reported in this area. And then 90 westbound at 1604, we've got another rollover accident reported there as well. So as you can see, at least 7 car accidents that are active right now. So a couple of tips for you as you head out today. Make sure you're driving slowly, increase that following distance. You should be doing at least 3 times your normal following distance as we are driving on icy, snowy roadways. Accelerate and brake gently. Make sure you're going extra slow on turns and as you approach stoplights. Be extra careful on bridges, ramps, and overpasses. We've seen a fair amount of accumulation there, and as I was checking with Drive Texas and TxDOT, they're reporting icy patches all around Bexar County. Buckle up, make sure you got your lights on, and be careful out there. Let's head out to our TransGuide camera, and I'll show you 90 as Zarza Moore, where you can see that dusting along the shoulder. Mainly is looking a little better here, but make sure you're extra careful as you head out on this snowy Tuesday morning. Stay with us. We've got more on these conditions and what you can expect for your morning right here on KENS 5.
At the heart of KENS 5 News is our people. People who've earned the trust of our community through years of experience, community connection, and showing up when it matters most. The reporters and anchors at KENS 5 News are the most experienced team in town, consistently delivering the important news you need. They're the people you're familiar with, the people you trust. KENS 5 News, proud to be San Antonio's own.
Go ahead. Take a look at the faces of San Antonio's own. When you look into their eyes, you see passion, you see hard work, you see familia. Generations of people who embody a rich culture of respect, honor, and originality. We're all in San Antonio, but more importantly, San Antonio is in us. It's what makes us special. It's why we're proud to be San Antonio's own.
I think we're very cute.
Yeah, I think we need to send out a Christmas card like this.
Yeah, let's do that.
Dollar Jill.
If you can't get into the market, it's okay. Renting is fine. I wonder how Serena is feeling.
That's a really good question. No one's asked me that yet.
You're 70 years old? 70, yeah. I'm 21.
We'll see you 7 o'clock sharp.
Talked to this police officers, and she told me to call KENS 5.
Every week, KENS 5 is looking out for San Antonio's own.
The next day after you left, they sent a professional AC guy, and my AC's working now.
If you've been wronged by someone,
It was shocking. Clearly something went wrong.
or a business,
I couldn't believe it was happening.
just call KENS. Weekdays at 6, only on KENS 5.
I got my vehicle back. I'm rolling again, so call KEN 5 to help you if you need help too.
Yeah, I was born and raised here in San Antonio, Texas, born at Lackland Air Force Base. I grew up on the west side, and I'm a military brat, so I kind of followed my dad around the world. I embrace multiple cultures. We're living here in San Antonio, it's the Hispanic culture. Growing up, it was the Filipino culture.
I'm constantly seeking new adventures and love hopping on my bike to find one.
Learned from some of the best, Paul Morales and Bill Taylor growing up. Those forecasts kind of inspired me to become a meteorologist. I mean, everything here is home.
You're watching San Antonio's own KENS 5 News this morning.
We're right at 7:40. Thanks for joining us this morning. That Arctic blast, boy, if you've been outside, you felt it last night. And this is what we awakened to this morning. Snow falling in San Antonio throughout the hill country. This is off Wilderness Oak area off 281, just showing just how hard at one point it was snowing.
Yeah, and this other video is taken in Lavernia, where you can see snow covering front yards as it fell early this morning.
Welcome back to KENS 5 Plus on this cold Tuesday. It's January 21st. I'm Barry Davis.
And I'm Audrey Castellano. It is a weather impact alert day at KENS 5, and we're here to keep you informed on the latest freezing conditions.
Yeah, all this morning our team has been out in that snow as it's been falling, and boy, it's been something. It's something to wake up and see for sure.
Oh, absolutely. And if you have hit the roads this morning, you may have seen some wintry mix. We want to get right over to one of our reporters, Sarah Duran. She is there on the northwest side, checking out the conditions there.
Audrey, it is the calmest that it's been all morning. Weather-wise, we are no longer seeing snow falling from the air. It's all on the ground now here, but it's starting to melt. We're talking about traffic now over here at 1604 and I-10. Matt, can we pan that way? It's looking really good. I know Jessica has mentioned some accidents and incidents throughout Bexar County, but we have been really fortunate with good traffic conditions in this area all morning long. It's looking more like a typical Tuesday traffic-wise, but it's still not as heavy as it typically would be with people heading to work and school. If this is part of your commute this morning, take it slow and even go below the posted speed limit. Now, one thing we have noticed a lot throughout the morning is we've seen a lot of salting trucks. Those TxDOT crews have been hard at work as that weather made its way into our area overnight. They tell us they have a team of more than 400 people in the office or out on the road responding to situations in real time. And we are told those salt trucks are also on the road, like I said, applying brine where it's needed. Now, if you encounter an icy spot, you must report it to law enforcement. That'll help them track it down and get some brine in those areas. And of course, if you're stuck or you find yourself in an incident, TxDOT also has a tow service that's readily available to help you and pull you out if you need it. Again, the conditions are looking good, much better. We're seeing a lot more improvement. And like Paul was saying, all of this should be gone by noon, and the road should be a lot easier to commute by that. But for now, I'll send it over to my colleague, Earl Stoudemire. Hey, Earl, how's it looking where you're at?
Good morning, Sarah. I'm here at the Alamo Stadium on the north side, and here's just a look at what we have right now on Highway 281. We do actually have a few more cars going towards the downtown area, and especially on this steep curve. I hope that they are taking it slow because we want to stay safe if we have to get behind the wheel. And me just kind of walking around right now, I almost slipped a few times just getting out here to get on air. So if you are going outside, please take your time, move slow. Don't want you to slip and fall. But even though it is kind of rough right now on the roads here in San Antonio, a few other places around the area in South Texas, they were getting it just as much. The snow is really flowing. So this is a video right now that the National Weather Service gave in New Braunfels with the flurries this morning. It hit me this morning. It took my car a few minutes to defrost. And then we have another video that a homeowner in Seguin gave to us. And this is a shot of her patio. So snow everywhere on the ground. Like I said, with those steps, you want to take it slow if you're going down the steps. But we do have a little bit more time for this ice. Like Paul mentioned, it's going to be a little bit before all of this melts. So take your time. And if you have any videos, please be sure to send it to the station. We'll be sure to include it in our newscast. But I'll go ahead and turn it back to the studio.
All right, thank you, Earl. And with the snow and the ice starting to melt and everything, keep in mind it still is 28 degrees right now. If you're on the road, the best thing to do is try to avoid it. But if you do have to get out there and you do have to travel somewhere, you hit an icy patch, here's some things to keep in mind. When you're driving, hold that steering wheel at 10 and 2 or 9 and 3, and don't make any big movements. If you do start to slide or whatever, don't slam on the gas, don't slam on the brakes. It's just going to make you lose even more control. If you do start sliding, turn the wheel into the skid. That way it's going to help you regain a little more control of the vehicle. And if you leave the road, you just have to be really careful coming back on.
And as soon as you come off of the ice back onto the road, if you have a lot of wheel into it, it's going to grip and just turn the car sideways and send you right into the wall.
That never ends up well either. Some other important tips: use lower gears. You'll keep better traction that way. It's especially important if you're driving on hills. And don't use your overdrive. Don't use your cruise control, because that just takes a little more time for you to react. And in this weather, the best, obviously, the thing to do is just stay off the roads altogether. If you don't need to be out there, just stay home.
Yeah, TxDOT has been working around the clock the past few days, making sure our roadways are prepared for this ice and snow.
Yeah, joining us now to talk a little more about what they've been doing over the past 48, 72 hours, Laura Lopez from TxDOT. Laura, you guys have been out there working hard. You've done a great job so far.
Thank you so much. Yes, we have, and we will continue to, we're not out of the woods quite yet. So we are going to continue this operation until the temperatures do improve.
And Laura, we're seeing a lot of icy spots pop up on our maps here. You know, once one of those are reported, how does your crew go and take care of that? What's the process?
As soon as we get a report of possible ice, we do send crews out to that area to inspect and to treat. So we have seen definitely a lot more traffic on the roadway, and we are seeing some incidents happen. So we are advising motorists, if you do not have to go anywhere today, please stay home or take an alternate route instead of getting on the highway. Safety needs to be everyone's priority, and like I said, we are constantly going to continue this operation until the temperatures improve.
Now, you guys have been out there. I mean, we've been seeing trucks for the last couple of days. We see those telltale stripes that you're spraying the brine, the salt water, the sodium chloride, I believe it is, on the roads. How long do you think you guys are going to have to stay out there and treat the roads?
That's a great question. We are going to continue this operation until the temperatures are above freezing and that chance of precipitation is no longer forecasted.
And you know, y'all have treated a lot of our loops, Loop 1604, Loop 410, but we are telling people, you know, maybe use those access roads that are down on the ground. But is there any advice for people who are taking those access roads? Because I know y'all can't spray everywhere. It's a huge city. And any advice for businesses that are along those access roads?
Well, the advice we have for businesses is do not have your sprinkler system on. You want to make sure if you have a business or even if you live off of a major highway, do not make sure your sprinkler systems that are automatically going to turn on, make sure those are off, because water falling, going into the roadway could potentially freeze. And so we're advising motorists to use caution, be very cautious when driving anywhere today. And if you're going to be traveling anywhere outside of San Antonio area, make sure that you do check out drivetexas.org to get the latest road conditions. Safety has to be everyone's #1 priority. And so we want to make sure that people get to their destination safely.
All right, so it's 26 degrees now, Laura, but Paul was telling us earlier, by this afternoon, it is going to be well above freezing. What's the plan for your guys this afternoon?
That's a great question. With temperatures increasing, there is that possible chance of what is the precipitation that's on the roadway right now could potentially freeze later on. So we are going to continue this operation because I believe we are expecting some low temperatures tonight. So we are going to continue to monitor the weather conditions throughout the day.
Laura, thank you so much. Some great information there. Laura Lopez with TxDOT. We'll keep an eye out on those roadways. Right now, we want to go to Paul for the latest in weather. Hey, Paul.
All right, let's take a look out there. We're going to see the sun. Sun's going to come out by mid to late morning. Temperatures will warm up above freezing. Now, we only picked up here in the city anywhere from around 2/100ths to around 4/100ths of an inch of precipitation. Not a whole lot. So it's not going to take a long time before this to sublime or to evaporate. So here's what I think is going to happen. By the time we get to noon, it's going to be all liquid on the roadways. Some of these roadways, it's already liquid. As we head into the afternoon, I think on the roadways especially, most of the water will be gone. High temperatures around 40, but anything that's left will freeze up after about 9 p.m., so watch out for that. Okay, temperature outside 28 degrees. Normal low is 41. We were way below that this morning. We had a low of 27. Record low 16, so even though it's been really cold, nowhere near the record. As we head through the day, this is a KENS 5 weather impact alert day. Temperatures will warm up to around 40. We'll have lots of sunshine this afternoon, and that should really go to work on melting just about all of the snow that's out there right now. Snow has stopped falling. I'm not expecting much more. I mean, you may see a flurry or two, but that's going to be about it. Eastern counties, you can pick up maybe another 1/4 of an inch or so. Okay, so snow totals. Let's say from Kerrville to Hondo, down to the south, Frio County, and then southward to around Cotulla. Just in this white zone right here, just a little bit. I mean, I'm talking like a trace to around 1/4 of an inch at best of snow. So an equivalent of that, by the way, if you received like a 1/4 of an inch of snow, the liquid equivalent is like 0.025, so just very little. I mean, if it was rain, it would just barely wet the roads and just a little bit more than that. So very little. And then west from there, even less. I mean, just maybe a trace. I did see some cameras out of Kerrville. There is some snow on the ground there in Kerrville. All right, once you get to this blue shade, then you're getting over 1/2 an inch. So northeastern part of the county, southeastern, eastern part of the county here in San Antonio, picking up about 1/2 an inch of snow, maybe a little bit more than that, 3/4 along the I-35 corridor, an inch possibly here around Wilson County and DeKarnes County, and then some of our counties here to the east, maybe an inch or two of snow. And then over towards Houston, a whole lot more than that. So winter storm warning does continue until 6 p.m. Today, and then out toward the west, you got a winter weather advisory in effect. Current temperature 28 degrees, Hondo 28, Del Rio's already at 32, Hallettsville 29, and Gonzales 29. Of course, that's only half the story. You add the wind, look at the wind chill, down to 18, New Braunfels 17, Kerrville 15 degrees is what it feels like. San Marcos feels like about 14. All right, so as we head through the day today, I think we'll hit about 40 for a high. Big time snow across Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, Dixie snow in the Great Lakes. It is frigid. I mean, Chicago, really cold, like single digits there. All right, this upper level system had enough lift to give us that light snow. I would say our forecast was pretty good. The high resolution computer models probably won out. They were saying it was just so dry that we wouldn't pick up a lot of snow, and we didn't. But about 1/2 an inch, most locations I would say, and then eastern locations about 1 inch. But anyway, sun comes out this afternoon. I think Wednesday and Thursday we'll see some sun. We'll have this trough that'll come through, but it won't give us any kind of precipitation, and I think we're going to cloud up over the weekend. All right, so high temperatures today, we'll hit 40. We'll have some sunshine. Good news there. Pollen count, mold's light, cedar is moderate. Here's your 14-day forecast. 50s for the end of the week. I think 60s for the weekend, and then next week, a little bit on the cool side. Now let's check. We've got a lot of accidents out there, right, Jessica?
Yeah, right now we got about 7, Paul, that we're monitoring all around town. One of the biggest is over here on the northeast side of town. I-35 northbound shut down between Pat Booker all the way up to Loop 1604. And as you just saw there, gridlock for northbound drivers. This is a look at all of our issues we've got this morning. New Braunfels, we've got I-35 southbound at Loop 337. A couple of main lanes blocked. That big issue on I-35 north shutting down main lanes between Pat Booker and 1604. And again, just northbound traffic shut down there. I-35 north at Wiedner, at least 1 main lane blocked. 410 east at Broadway, 2 main lanes blocked to your eastbound lanes. Moving fine other than seeing that accident for eastbound drivers. Watch out in this 2 outer right main lanes. And then 1604 east at Bitters, we've got an accident there, as well as 1604 east at Petrenko on the west side, and then 90 west at 1604 still getting cleared. Now this morning we've had several issues. That biggest problem for us right now is still that accident on I-35 North between Pat Booker and 1604, where I mentioned those lanes are closed out. Let's head out to our TransGuide camera and I'll show you again. Gridlock here. If you're headed into this, about a 30-minute delay, but that delay time has been building, and southbound traffic moving fine. You can just see drivers going slow as they should this morning. Let's head back onto the map and I'll show you some spots where we are getting reports of patchy ice. 281 you can see slowly moving down over on the south side of town. 37 both directions, all along 37 we've been getting patches of ice reported, so be careful there. I want to head on to another map to show you what we're looking at all around town. Look at all this gray around San Antonio. Those are reports of patches of ice or snow, so dangerous driving conditions, and you can see really all around town stretching north. 281 northbound though, by the time you get to Bulverde, it's looking a lot better there. Let's head back out onto our roadways to give you a look at what we're dealing with, live conditions. And as you can see here, looking not too bad in some places, but watch out and take it nice and slow. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
What makes KENS 5 News different? We have a team of people, both on air and behind the scenes, who are from San Antonio, who have lived here for decades. A team of journalists who know the neighborhoods, the issues, and the people, bringing San Antonio the news that's most important to this community. Local news from local people. We are San Antonio's own KENS 5.
I think we're very cute.
Yeah, I think we need to send out a Christmas card like this.
Yeah, let's do that.
Dollar Jill.
If you can't get into the market, it's okay. Renting is fine. I wonder how Serena is feeling.
That's a really good question. No one's asked me that yet.
You're 70 years old? 70, yeah. I'm 21.
We'll see you 7 o'clock sharp.
My name is Sue Kalberg and I am a journalist for KENS 5 for 22 years. I think it's been an awesome privilege to be able to work in the town that I grew up in. My uncle, Rex Stanley, was the very first guy hired at KENS 5. From the beginning, I said, you can get paid for that? Let me in. It fills my heart to be a part of the KENS family because the KENS family is the San Antonio family. I am San Antonio's own Sue Kalberg.
Talked to this police officers, and she told me to call KENS 5.
Every week, KENS 5 is looking out for San Antonio's own.
The next day after you left, they sent a professional AC guy, and my AC's working now.
If you've been wronged by someone,
It was shocking. Clearly something went wrong.
or a business,
I couldn't believe it was happening.
just call KENS. Weekdays at 6, only on KENS 5.
I got my vehicle back. I'm rolling again, so call KENS 5 to help you if you need help too.
Born and raised on the northwest side of San Antonio, Texas. Generations of my family have been from this part of Texas. I have Fiesta roots. I have Spurs roots. I have Texas.
Good Tuesday morning at 7:57. We've got dangerous driving conditions out there sticking with us this morning. This is a major accident that has 35 northbound shut down between Pat Booker all the way to Loop 1604. And you can see drivers headed into this absolute gridlock. You're going to want to be careful and watch out. Now on my map, we've got several problems. We're watching 7 active accidents right now. 35 south at Loop 337 in New Braunfels. Several main lanes blocked there. We have the highway shut down on the north side, on the northeast side of town on I-35 North again that you just saw there at Pat Booker, and then several other major accidents. 410 east at Broadway, 35 north at Weidner, 1604 east at Bitters, 1604 east at Petrenko on the west side, and then 90 west at Loop 1604. I want to head on to a map to show you what we're looking at in terms of our road conditions. Look at this gray, white all around San Antonio. That's TxDOT reporting ice and patches of snow out there on our roadways right now. So just be careful, take it nice and slow. Make sure you increase that following distance. Now, Paul, as far as timing goes, when can we expect some of this to clear out?
Oh, I think by mid-morning, mid to late morning, we'll see some sunshine, and it won't take long for this to turn into liquid. I think by noon, just about everything is going to be liquid. And then this afternoon, we'll hit 40. We'll have lots of sunshine, and I think most of the liquid will be gone. Whatever is left, though, will freeze hard tomorrow morning. So there may be some patchy spots tomorrow morning. Watch out for that. Snow has just about come to an end. Over to the east, there is some areas of some heavier snow towards Hallettsville. Still could pick up a little bit more. Picked up about 1 inch to 2 inches for some of our eastern counties. counties. Of course, western counties in the advisory area didn't pick up a whole lot. They'll have a winter storm warning that continues. It's cold. Bundle up. Temperature 28 degrees. You add the wind. Wind chill right now is at 19. Today, though, we will have lots of sunshine and your high at 40.
The heart of KENS 5 News is our people. People who've earned the trust of our community through years of experience, community connection, and showing up when it matters most. The reporters and anchors at KENS 5 News are the most experienced team in town, consistently delivering the important news you need. They're the people you're familiar with, the people you trust. KENS 5 News, proud to be San Antonio's own.
Go ahead. Take a look at the faces of San Antonio's own. When you look into their eyes, you see passion, you see hard work, you see familia, generations of people who embody a rich culture of respect, honor, and originality. We're all in San Antonio, but more importantly, San Antonio is in us. It's what makes us special. It's why we're proud to be San Antonio's own.
I think we're very cute.
Yeah, I think we need
Talked to this police officers, and she told me to call KENS 5.
Every week, KENS 5 is looking out for San Antonio's own.
The next day after you left, they sent a professional AC guy, and my AC's working now.
If you've been wronged by someone,
It was shocking. Clearly something went wrong.
or a business,
I couldn't believe it was happening.
just call KENS. Weekdays at 6, only on KENS 5.
I got my vehicle back. I'm rolling again. So call KEN 5 to help you if you need help too.
Yeah, I was born and raised here in San Antonio, Texas, born at Lackland Air Force Base. I grew up on the west side, and I'm a military brat, so I kind of followed my dad around the world. I embrace multiple cultures. We're living here in San Antonio, it's the Hispanic culture. Growing up, it was the Filipino culture.
I'm constantly seeking new adventures and love hopping on my bike to find one.
Learned from some of the best, Paul Morales and Bill Taylor growing up. Those forecasts kind of inspired me to become a meteorologist. I mean, everything here is home.
All right, and we want to thank you for tuning in to our special weather alert stream on KENS 5 Plus.
Yeah, we're going to be back at 8:25 with a local news update. If you go out there, hey, try to stay warm.